I want to quickly talk about and touched upon this picture of Rorschach. Basically, guys, of course, this is from Watchmen, the first movie that Zack Snyder actually tipped his toes into superheroes and supervillains and whatever. And Watchmen, since then, actually went through the whole comic book series. I did see the movie when I was super young. I shouldn't see that as a kid at all. Because it was super disturbing to me. I didn't like it. I thought it sucked monkey balls. But right now, I mean, since I actually read the comic book and I watched the movie again.
Didn't you watch the what was the motion comic?
Yes,
thingy?
I watched
It was
the,
that, yeah. I sent you
yeah,
that, yeah.
I watched the motion comic book and it was super great, super impactful. Then I understood what Zack really did with Watchmen and with these characters. And it's absolutely a brilliant adaptation. This is one of the most accurate adaptations that you can ever see from actually a full comic book series
Yeah.
brought to life in one movie. That's very long, of course, movie, but through and through,
It's
this
a long
was
comic
Watchmen. Yes, a long comic book. This was Watchmen. He took such a care and attention to detail. Each character was fleshed out like
Yeah.
they were supposed to be in the comic books. They were all represented like they were. They all looked as close as possible to the comic book version. He even went so far that we saw full frontal of Dr. Manhattan,
Which we see in the comic book.
which we see in the comic. He went so far.
He went so far,
He went
yes.
such a detail. So at least we know, even if you don't like Zack Snyder, because we don't like him as a writer, but as a director, we do like him.
He's great, yeah.
Because he takes care and respect. He shows respect every time. He shows respect to the characters. He brings them to life. Like, he's so good to just take an essence, take a character, and just put them on screen.
Yeah.
He's so good. And Watchmen is like one of the best examples of his work here. So visually, he was the perfect guy for the job. In terms of meaning, perfect guy for the job.
Totally,
That's
yeah.
Watchmen.
Also, I would argue that he made the suits look way better in the movie than in the comic books, because in the comic book they're just
Yeah.
you know.
This is
Yeah,
how
yeah,
AI
so-
nowadays, when you show an AI like a drawing and the AI makes it like in real life, how it would look in real life or something like that. You can actually do this now, but this is the closest thing before you actually got AI. But if you put like, let's say, Rorschach in AI, that's what AI is gonna come up with probably, because it's logical that in live action he would look this way.
Yeah.
The other thing that we have to address, which is the elephant in the room. There's actual elephant in the
There
room.
is an elephant in the room.
Yes, there
Is
is.
it behind the curtain there?
Yeah. So the actual elephant in the room, guys, in this case is, why did Zack Snyder release this picture after the Man of Steel pictures? Because this seemed like it's going to invalidate what he just did with the other pictures, because it kind of seemed that he just releases pictures from his DC projects
not
before.
that it means something like, hey, I'm back, or something. Just
Now when he released this, it kind of means like, well, I'm just releasing pictures. What are you guys talking about?
Could
but
also,
but
yeah.
I have a suggestion.
Oh, you have a suggestion?
Yes, I
Nice.
still have to develop my thesis here. But I think that the other pictures of Superman and Batman and Deathstroke could still mean the same, that maybe he wants to make a pitch to the future owners of Warner Brothers
I was going to say exactly that.
to show and prove that
So
there
I
is
don't
that there's interest still in this universe. So he's gonna be ready with proof when this DC Warner Brothers thing actually, I mean, when Warner Brothers actually gets sold to somebody, he has a pitch already ready to be there. And then after that, he kind of deflects, because he's not sure, he doesn't want to like give us like false hope. He deflects with this picture.
Yeah.
And he's like, actually, well, you see, I just post pictures, I'm not doing anything here, and I'm not trying to pitch anything.
But
No.
it also could be, as you said, just a, hey, remember what I did with that movie? So,
Also, but I
Yeah.
do think this is a deflection, basically. Like,
That's a good
don't
point,
get
yeah.
your hopes
Yeah,
up.
don't get your hopes up. I just have
Because
photos,
I
guys,
just have
you know.
photos, but in reality, I also have. I have
Yeah.
actually proved that interest, because he did broke the internet when he released all of those pictures.
Exactly. Yeah, that should show to whoever buys Warner Brothers, People are interested in that. And let's see what we have. Oh, we have James Gunn who lost money and nobody watches his thing. Okay.
And actually, Zack didn't.
And actually, Zack didn't.
Actually,
No
Zack
matter what
didn't.
people say, yes, they are so. Well, BVS and Man of Steel are flops. What?
They're not. They just didn't perform as Marvel movies did.
Exactly.
Because they were more
Yeah.
niche.
Yeah.
And they were not. It was different times.
They were
People
not
were used to the comedy.
spoon feeding you what happens on the screen.
Yeah.
You actually need things to understand there.
Yeah, people were just very surface level, and they still are very surface level. So what Marvel did was still quality, but still surface level in comparison to what Zack tried to do with all the hidden and all kinds of meanings and greediness. In the other movies, the contrast was too big, and the general audience didn't get it. But the movies were profitable. They just were not profitable as Marvel movies. But guess what? Current DC universe is 50% less profitable.
Yeah.
50% less.
Yeah.
That's how the Superman movie is. That's
I
50%.
mean, even freaking Captain America 4 Brave New World did more money actually.
Yeah,
than
and to
Superman, which has to just tell you a lot, you know.
Yes, and to explain why am I saying 50% less profitable? Well, first of all, just to mention before I forget, the freaking creature commandos flopped, the freaking Peacemaker flopped, and they totally lost money with that. But then we have the main guy, Superman, losing actual money around $40 million. And when you adjust for inflation, the movie lost money. When you compare the ticket prices, the ticket prices of Superman 2025 are double more expensive than what ticket prices were back then for Man of Steel. So this means literally that 50% more people went to Man of Steel and made a bit more money still than Superman 2025. But the only reason that Superman 2025 is close to that number of Man of Steel is because the tickets were 2 times more expensive. But also, tickets sold in terms of number is also 2 times less than what Man of Steel has. So the interest for the new movie, the new franchise, the direction of James Gunn is 50% less than what it used to be with Zack Snyder's universe. So hate it or love it, these are the numbers.
Also,
and interest is still there for Zack Snyder's
also
movies.
merchandise for those movies sold way better, you know, because all the figures from the new Superman, even the ones that are more to kids and general public, still stay there being peg warmers. Even here in Bulgaria, we have some of them. We have the Spin Masters figures that are 6 inches. I still see the freaking Superman figure stays there. Usually the main character is the one that people buy the most. But every time I have a chance to go to one of those toy shops and see, Superman is still here. And even my son said, hey, Superman is still here. Why nobody buys him? And I say, because he's this Superman. You know,
it's super soy.
But that wasn't the case, and people still produce figures. Companies still produce figures from the Zack Snyder universe. There are still Man of Steel figures that are upcoming
from InArt and Joy Toy.
Yeah, even freaking McFarlane is going to do a re-release of his horrible Henry Cavill figure. I hope that he does it better. But even he knows, and every time those things actually sell, when it's Ben Affleck's Batman, when it's Henry Cavill Superman, when it's Gal Gadot Wonder Woman. Well, Aquaman not so much, but you know.
Aquaman.
Man. But from that movie, nobody's buying Superman. Nobody's buying a freaking Hammer of Boravia. Because there is a figure of that. There is a freaking figure of that. The guy who appears for 2 minutes in the movie and it turns out to be Ultraman. Nobody buys the Ultraman figures. Nobody buys the Lex Luthor figures.
I mean, freaking James Gunn even managed to make Ultraman nobody.
Basically,
and he's not actually nobody.
Yeah,
he's actually a lot more. He's the opposite of Superman. He has powers from the Red Sun. He's one of the most evil guys in the whole universe ever created.
To me, it would make more sense if it actually was Bizarro under the mask. Because you could say, that's a failed clone right there. I couldn't perfect it. That's right there.
He basically took Bizarro and called him Ultraman. That's what happened, which is a travesty. Like a total insult.
But guys, you know, in the second movie, he might return as Bizarro. Yeah, but we don't know that, do we? Do we have to wait for the second movie
We
for that?
went
We
in a
don't know.
black hole. I doubt
He went
that.
in a black
Superman
hole.
already said that he's not gonna survive this for some
Yeah.
reason.
But nobody said, well, but this Superman killed him, just like, the snapping the back. Why nobody's saying that then?
Yeah, why nobody's complaining about
Why nobody's
that?
complaining now?
Because if Superman said that this gonna kill him, it means it's gonna kill his clone. So basically, Superman pushing him to the black hole, he knows that that's gonna kill him.
Exactly.
But nobody cares. Nobody
Yeah.
mentions it. And by the way, Superman's 2025 costume is as soft as our hoodies.
Yeah. And as soft as he himself, because he's a big softy, that guy.
Yeah, yeah.
He
Exactly.
takes off his boot. He's put his soy milk into his soy cornflakes.
Oh
Eating
no.
his soy bread.
Yeah.
As they say in that Johnny Bravo episode with the girl that was on a model of soy or something. So what are you going to say in your speech? Well, that I hope for a world peace and a world completely made out of soy.
Ew.
Ew, I would say. Ew.
Do you know that people that are from our part of the world and some other parts of the world that are more from our side can actually digest and assimilate soy the way that people from Asia can. So they can actually a lot better use soy as food, but we can't. It's not good for us. Actually, it creates a lot of issues, stomach issues, sometimes even hormonal issues. Don't quote me on that, but there has been some studies and I tried such milk, I always had issues. So I just drink normal cow milk and I have no issues. I hope that you enjoyed this video. From me, the 40k Empress and Logan, the creators of this channel. I wish you all the best, guys who watch this next. Let us know what you think in the comments and check the links down below if you like to support us. Love you guys. Bye bye.